with their winches. The Morian wolves were the dominant element, but there were human wolves there of half a dozen outland nations as well. And the fat, gross rogue whose bawdy jests were causing all the shouts of mirth was a professional kidnapper come up from distant Koth to teach woman stealing to Zamorians. They were born with more knowledge and wealth than bloated
By Bel, God of all thieves, I'll show you how to steal witches. I'll have her over the border before dawn where there's a caravan waiting to receive her. 300 pieces of silver a count of warfare promised me for a sleek young Berthunian of a better class. Is she a pretty baggage? Ah, I know lords and Shem who would trade the secret of the elephant.
Especially in the city of thieves. There are more bold robbers than anywhere else in the world, even Koth. Slicker than polished glass. Come, tell these poor fellows. Tell them how you experience a jet. What? You dare to tell me my business of the information I'm a coward? Get along! Get out of my sight!
they both scaled easily and dropped down into the inner garden, which was a vague pool of shadows beneath the moon. Slowly, Michel felt the life taking the copper tube. Fixed his gaze on the shadowy mass of shrubbery a few yards away. The shrubbery was suddenly shaken, although the breeze had died down. Two fading eyes blazed out from the darkness, and behind them, other sparks of fire glinted through the black.
Lions! There are 5 in sight, maybe more, back in the bushes. Silent.
Cautiously lifting the slender copper tube, low rumblings rose from the shadows. As the blazing eyes moved forward, Conan could sense the great slavering jaws. He gripped his sword, expecting the sudden charge, the loud roar, and the irresistible hurtling of giant bodies. Just then, the struck the mouth of the copper tube to his lips and blew powerfully. A long jet of yellowish powder shot out from the tube and billowed instantly into a thick green-yellow cloud that settled over the shrubbery, blotting out the glaring eyes. Conan could see nothing.
What is that mist?
Soon, the yellowish shreds of mist, ghostly in the air. They took the go, and Taurus motioned his companion forward. 5 great tawny shapes, the fire of their grim eyes dimmed.
What did you say?
The sun strikes dead any who smelled it. And that was all I said. What common Bell's name? Are we to waste the night in discussion?
Come. They glided through the shrubbery to the foot of the tower. There Taurus unwound the knotted cord about his waist, one end of which was a strong steel hook. He gripped the line and swung it about his head. Then he threw the line with a smooth and rippling motion of his mighty arm. Up and up it went, to vanish over the jeweled red eye.
How? That was the first cast. Now, we must climb this cord. Where's the Sumerian if we can? Right, it was woven from the tresses of dead women. Speaking of it, deadly quite a bit in history to give it strength.
The Sumerian followed with ease. Up and up they went. The lights of the city spread out further and further to their sight as they climbed. Now Taurus reached the top and pulled himself up over the hill. Conan paused a moment as he did the same, fascinated by the great frosty jewels whose gleams dazzled his barbarian eyes.
There's a fabulous fortune in jewels here.
Come on, come on. If we secure the heart, these and all other things shall be ours. Follow me. Now is when the real risks begin.
Like stalking tigers, they crept across the dark, gleaming floor to a sparkling, bejeweled door. It opened soundlessly to Taurus' cautious hand. Over the Nemedian shoulder, Conan had a glimpse of walls, ceiling, and floors inside, all crusted with great white jewels.
I'll go first, lad. You follow me in a moment.
Stealthily, Taurus entered. Then suddenly...
Taurus! Taurus!
Taurus swayed and his lips parted, but only a dry rattle burst from his throat. He lurched forward, then fell headlong, clutching at his throat. He suddenly stiffened, and Conan knew without touching him that Taurus was dead. Crouching like a wolf at bay, Conan stared through the wide-flung door, but he saw nothing moving inside. He turned back to the dead Nemedian.
No mark of violence, except here on his neck. 3 small wounds with black edges.
Cautiously, Conan stole into the chamber, all but ignoring the jewels which lay strewn within. Then suddenly, death struck at him. A flying shadow swept across the gleaming floor. Only the barbarian's instinctive sidelong leap had saved his life. Conan had a flashing glimpse of a hairy black horror that rushed past him with a clashing of frothing fangs, and then something splashed on his bare shoulder that burned like drops of liquid hellfire. Then turning, sword held high, he saw a gigantic black spider, such as men behold only in their deepest nightmare. A spider large as a great hound, its 8 thick hairy legs driving its horrible body over the floor at headlong pace. Sword evilly gleaming eyes shining with a frightening intelligence, its fangs dripping the deadly venom which had already burned the barbarian's shoulder.
Fools that we were! Not to have suspected that the upper chambers would be guarded!
Again the monster charged. Conan leaped high. It passed beneath him, wheeled and charged back. This time as he dodged it, his sword severed one of its misshapen legs. With 7 remaining legs, the great spider ran up the wall to the ceiling to crouch for an instant, glaring down at him with fiendish red eyes. Then, without warning, it suddenly launched itself through space, trailing a strand of slimy, grayish fluid. Conan ducked frantically, barely escaping, being snared by the flying web rope. He sprang toward the floor. The spider was even quicker, and the silky strand across the far door made him a prisoner. He dared not try to cut through it, for before he could do so, the monster would be sinking its fangs into his back. Now, a deadly, desperate game. Again and again, the spider raced across the ceiling out of sword's reach, dropping long, sticky loops of gray web strands. The strands were as thick as ropes, and Conan knew that once they were coiled about him, not all his barbarian strength would set him free before the monster struck. Then, suddenly, as the spider cast still another gruesome strand, it struck Conan's legs, knocking him off balance. He caught himself on his hands as he fell. He looked up. The hairy devil was racing down the wall to complete its conquest.
You spawn of hell!
Stung to frenzy, Conan caught up a jewel chest which lay at hand and hurled it with all of his might. In the midst of those
Man as much out of place in that den as a grey wolf among the mangy rats of the gutter. His cheap tunic could not conceal the hard, rangy lines of his powerful frame, the broad, heavy shoulders, the massive, lean waist and heavy arms. His skin was brown from outland suns, his eyes blue and smoldering, a shock of tousled black hair crowning his broad forehead, and at his side hung a sword in a worn leather scabbard.
You spoke of the Elephant Tower a moment ago. I've heard much of this tower. What is its secrets?
The secret of the Elephant Tower? Why, any fool knows that Yara the priest dwells there, with a great jewel that men call the elephant's heart. That is the secret of his magic.
I have seen this tower. It is set in a great garden above the level of the city, surrounded by high walls. But I've seen no guards, and the walls would be easy to climb. Why hasn't someone stolen this gem if it's so powerful?
Ha! Hearken to this heathen! He would steal the jewel of Yara! Hearken, fellow. I suppose you're some sort of northern barbarian.
I am a Sumerian.
Well, listen to me and learn something. Know that in Zamora, and most especially in the city of Thebes, there are more bold robbers than anywhere else in the world, even Koth. If mortal man could have stolen that gem, be sure it would have been filched long ago.
If a man could pass through the gardens, why could he not reach the gem through the upper part of the tower, and thus avoid not only the soldiers, but this Yara also?
Listen to him! The barbarian is an eagle who can fly to the jeweled rim of the tower, which is only 150 feet above the earth, with rounded sides slicker than polished glass. Come, tell these poor fellows who've only been thieves since before you were spawned. Tell them how you would steal the gem.
There is always a way, if the desire be coupled with courage.
What? You dare tell me my business and then intimate that I'm a coward? Get along! Get out of my sight!
Will you mock me and then lay hands on me?
His quick rage leaping up, the barbarian returned the Kothian shove with an open-handed blow.
You heathen dog! I'll have your heart out for that!
Steel flashed, and the throng surged wildly back out of the way. In their flight...